Hey there, welcome back to a Minifig Monday. Today we'll be taking a look at a retro figure. Well, I guess you could say this is a retro figure by this point, or classic Lego figure. This is Indiana Jones, of course. This is the original 2008 version. Unfortunately, I did not get a set with his satchel, so if you don't see that with him, that is the reason why. So yeah, here he is. I'll give you a 360 of Dr. Jones here. Now, the one thing I'm going to point out, because this figure is pretty old by this point, I did play with him a lot, and the torso is a little cracked on the side. This is one of those points where it doesn't actually bother me at all, because it is such a beloved figure, as I change that for a minute. It's just something I wanted to say, because if you guys know my stance on Lego cracking with torsos. I just despise it with a passion. But this time it actually doesn't bother me at all, really. And unfortunately, I do not have the new Indiana Jones minifigure to compare against this. But as soon as I can get those two sets, I will definitely let you know, and you'll see content on them. And then we'll do a comparison shortly after. But here's the figure. Now, he does come with, I believe, in almost every Indiana Jones set back in 2008 and 2009, of course. He also came with a Lego hairpiece, and this was the classic style of Lego hair back in, actually I think this probably is one of the most classic Lego hair designs. Here it is, you can see it there. And that kind of was like an option, so if you want to take his hat off, put his hair on, because this Indiana Jones does not have an alternate face, because the hat is open, and there was no way that they could have, hid another face, so that's great. Speaking of the face, I do really like the face for Lego Indy. It's actually really cool, it's really well done, and I'm glad mine hasn't, been ruined, but it's great. I did want to talk about his accessories, of course, before we take a look at the face and stuff. Here is one of his accessories, which is a classic Lego gun piece. And it's a revolver. It looks pretty awesome. It's got, a little bit of detail with the, chamber. You've got the, I don't know what that is, but, when you cock the gun, there you go. And the end part, you got the trigger. Looks pretty awesome. And it's perfect for Indiana Jones because in his world, there's a lot of gunplay with old-fashioned guns and stuff, and just a lot of, bullets flying everywhere, so that's great. Looks pretty cool. But the other accessory is pretty darn special. This is the whip piece, and it was so great that along with the satchel piece, they decided to bring back this whip piece for the new Indiana Jones sets, which is awesome. They're continuing to use it. I think they've actually used it in other themes, of course, but it's most remembered for being Indiana Jones's whip. And this is a coiled piece, and it is a rubber piece, I believe. Or no, it's like a flexible plastic, my bad. And you can actually unroll it. It's a little hard to get it to unroll, but that's what it looks like. You can do that, but it will always pretty much go back to its shape, which is nice. And something I've noticed recently with some Lego fans, they've actually made it so that the whip can go in, onto the satchel, which is really awesome. I'm gonna have to try that sometime. But that's the whip piece. It is iconic. It is absolutely amazing. And, I mean, come on, you can't have Indiana Jones without his whip. I mean, he always has his whip. It's so good. And it's an awesome piece. You could even use it for other things. You could use it for, eyes, maybe, or details on a sculpture, or I don't know, something else. You could use it for a lot of things, but it's just a great piece, and the fact that they brought it back is really awesome. Also has two accessories, and which are pretty awesome. Actually, that's not true. His last accessory is his hat, of course. Let me take that off for you. And this hat is just, it's beautiful. It's such a good piece. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Here is Indy's hat. It's brilliant. The new one is a little bit better, but this is just an iconic Lego piece. It's got so much good detailing. I mean, it is just one piece, but the molding is so good. You've got it all around. I think the only bad part about my copies, but it has a little bit of chipping on the back, but it's aged, okay, folks. So here it is. There's the connection, and it's just an awesome piece. Actually, let me show you what Indy looks like with the hair as well. If you wanted to see that, that's what he looks like with the hair. Pretty good. Not as good, but you know, it is what it is. And the new one is actually better because it has the hair with the hat. Although you can't reenact certain scenes with the hat alone. There's some caveats there. But let's put his hat back on. Give him the fedora. And if this will focus back up, there we go. And here he is. I love the detail. It's so good with the jacket, like the leather jacket. It just looks so good. Like you've got so many good details with the, the zipper. You've got the khaki shirt underneath. You've got the skin tone. Got the different pockets, looking pretty sharp. You've also got the belt, which is great with the gun holster on the printed right there, looking pretty snazzy right there. Unfortunately, because this is a 2008 figure, apologies for the noise outside. If you can hear it, I apologize. If there's some work going on, that's what that noise is. Anyway, there is no printing on the back. That is something that was kind of consistent with 2008 minifigures, was they wouldn't really print anything on the back of the figures, with the exception of a few characters. Like, a lot of them from Temple of Doom got special back printing and stuff, but most of the figures did not, which I guess makes sense, because most of their outfits are a little bit basic and there wouldn't be that much to see. But yeah, nothing on the back, not too bad. I think this is a great figure still, even after all these years later. I think it is one of the most iconic Lego minifigures in my collection and of all time to me. I was a big fan of this figure, and I still am. I do think the new one is just miles better in every sense, in my opinion, but it's pretty darn similar to this figure, and I think it's great. One thing I do find interesting, though, was that for the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull sets in 2009, I want to say, and for those sets, Indiana Jones was in them, of course, but for some reason LEGO chose to include the same figure, even though he's older in those sets. I do find that really weird, because obviously Harrison Ford was older during the Crystal Skull, movie. I do find it a little bit interesting that they didn't decide to age him up for those sets. I just find that a little bit weird. Same with Marion. It's a little bit odd as well that they didn't age her up, but I just wanted to throw that out there just because. This is great. Love this figure. It's very awesome, in my opinion. I'm glad I have one still, even if it is, a little bit beat up and stuff. I'm glad to have one. It's very nostalgic and very beloved to me, because I had a lot of fun with these two sets that I had. Both from the Last Crusade, which was, they had not a bad lineup. Not a bad lineup at all. And I'm very excited, very, very excited for the new movie and to get the two new playsets. I will be definitely letting you know when I get those. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of this Indiana Jones. Do you prefer this minifig to the new one? Or do you like the new one better? Let me know. That's all for me. Thanks for watching. Have a great time, or great day. And I will see you for the next Minifig Monday, which will be very soon. Stay tuned. Have a great day, folks.